It was a tragedy this week at Fort Hood, Texas, and the folks in South Carolina once again stand with the people in Texas. The President's former Chief of Staff and now the Mayor of Chicago, Rahm Emanuel, infamously said, "Never let a crisis go to waste." That's what we're seeing going on today with Harry Reid looking to use the recent Fort Hood tragedy to pursue his agenda of control. Harry Reid said this week that the recent shooting should renew discussion about gun control, and then went on to talk about background checks and mental health issues. Mr. Speaker, these comments have nothing to do with the facts at hand. However, Harry Reid wants to use it as a way to restrict Americans' Second Amendment rights. I don't agree with his motives, but I do agree with his suggestion that we need to revive a discussion on the Second Amendment. It should reawaken our discussions about Americans' constitutionally affirmed rights to keep and bear arms to defend ourselves, to defend our families, to defend our property, and ultimately to defend this great nation. With regard to our military, the gentleman from Texas and I had a conversation earlier. I fully understand when you join the military, you give up some rights. You give up the right to speak unless you're spoken to or it's appropriate. You give up the right to assemble peacefully. You assemble when they tell you to on the parade ground, I've been told, but you don't have the right to assemble. You don't have the right to a trial by jury. We set the jury of court-martial for the military. I get that. But yet, we trust these soldiers with both high-tech and low-tech weapon systems that they use to defend this great nation. But then we turn around and we create these gun-free zones on their bases, which have resulted in two incidents. Gun-free zones which have resulted in two incidents at Fort Hood, two instances of the killing of unarmed and law-abiding citizens. And I'll mention, as the gentleman from Texas did, that we have the President who wants to call this an episode of workplace violence. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. Major Hassan was an Islamist, jihadist, intent on doing harm in the war against America that we see raging all over the world in places like Afghanistan and Iraq. You know, the folks that were wounded there and the soldiers that were killed at Fort Hood, they deserve the medals that they've earned. And it's time to what it was. It was an episode of terrorism, and the original Fort Hood shooting episode and incident requires, I believe, that those victims receive the medals, and that's something I renew the call on. You know, I raised this issue about the tragedy just this week and the gun-free zones to my constituents via Twitter and Facebook, and this is some of the things they had to say. A lady named Carolyn Chandler says this. She said, "Our own soldiers without guns shot down on our own base in our own country. A ban on guns gives the criminals free targets. The criminals will have guns. Criminals do not obey the laws." Steve Carey says that the victims at Fort Hood are not dangerous. The politicians who disarmed the soldiers at a military base are the ones that are dangerous. Ken Crow says, "We don't need more gun laws. We need fewer gun-free zones." I agree with him on that. It's time for America to wake up. The only lawbreakers in Fort Hood, Texas, in both of these tragic events, the only lawbreakers were the killers themselves who took a firearm into a gun-free zone. I'm reminded of an old adage that says, when seconds count, the police that can protect you in these gun-free zones are just minutes away. When seconds count, the police are just minutes away. Think about that, America. It's time to let our soldiers defend themselves. It's time to let law-abiding Americans defend themselves. It's time to reaffirm our Second Amendment rights in this country, rights affirmed in the Constitution of the United States. I appreciate the gentleman with the SOS law. I look forward to co-sponsoring that. And let's allow law-abiding Americans, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, allow them to defend themselves. SOS sends a warning signal. It's an alarm. It's put on the beach when someone needs to be rescued. Well, guess what? The folks that are in gun-free zones need to be rescued as well by having the ability to defend themselves. So I thank the gentleman from Texas for giving me time to talk about this important issue. May God bless him, and may God bless the Republic of Texas, and may God bless the United States of America. I yield back.
Well, the gentleman from South Carolina has just made clear why I'm such a big fan of his.